Uh, Welcome to this webinar. My name is Muhammad Wasik, and we are going to talk about study period 1. And in study period 1, hey Brenton.
Yes,
Hey, how are you, mate?
I'm good. Yourself?
Yeah, perfect. So very quickly, you are in study period 1,
Correct.
and how many assessment you've done so far?
I haven't done any yet. I've just sort of started, like doing the readings. Yeah, I haven't done much yet. So
Okay. So I was talking about quizzes with Robert. You've got the idea about the quizzes or no?
for me, you mean?
Yep. I was talking.
I haven't. I haven't sat a quiz yet as such.
Uh,
So
uh,
um, yeah. So I've watched like a fair few of the YouTube videos.
mhm.
Started doing some of the readings, but as for any of the assessments or quizzes or anything, I actually haven't done any yet.
Okay. Okay. That's all right. So I'll give a very quick overview of quizzes, and then we'll jump to portfolio 2. For portfolio 1, you need to watch this YouTube video, which I recorded yesterday. This one. Can you see that? Can you see
Yep.
my screen? So this one, study period 1, assessment 3147503 overview. So you'll watch it, you'll get the idea of what's
Right.
in first assessment. Okay.
Okay.
So let's start. So I'm going to put you on mute again. And if in the meanwhile, if you have any question, you guys, you can put in a chat and I'll answer it while addressing other things. And we'll have question and answer
Sure.
session at the end as well. Okay. So this webinar is for study period 1. And in study period 1, we have 6 assessments. We have 2 quizzes and then we have 4 portfolios. So the action plan to knock down study period 1 is read student workbook, which is 31475A, which is this one. So in a learning material, there is a student workbook 31475A. So read it and attempt the quizzes. Okay, so quizzes are not timed, so you can open and close as many times as you'd like. Quizzes are open book. So read the quiz. If you are not sure about the answer, go back to that book, a student workbook, find the answer, come back, answer it. Okay. You need to get 80% to pass the quiz, then you will get 3 attempts. So once you submit, we'll show you the result. If it's not 80%, you'll get another attempt. So you'll get 3 attempts. So knock down, finish these quizzes as early as possible. Finish the reading a book and finish the quizzes. Then we have 3147503 portfolio. So we would suggest to start with this portfolio because second portfolio is related to first one. Both flows into each other. So start with first and go to the second one, and then do the third one and do the fourth one. So try to do it in sequence, so it would be easy for you. So for first portfolio 3147503, I would ask you to watch, as I mentioned earlier, watch my this video of 9th March. I gave an overview what to do, how to complete it. Today we are going to talk about second portfolio, which is 3147504. Yeah. So I'll open that assessment and I'll start from first page. Okay, so that's the assessment, portfolio 2 3147504. So I'll scroll it down. These are the instructions for you. Overview, submission, no worries. Here we go. So assessment portfolio requirement, and there are different steps. So step 1 is saying select one unit of competency in its entirety from the qualification you used within your learning program plan from 31475 503. So last assessed portfolio, first portfolio. So that's why I'm saying complete this one first and then start working on the second one. So preferably an elective or imported unit, but you can pick a core unit as well if you want. Unpack the competency standard to justify why you have chosen this unit. So how to unpack? We are giving you two appendices, Appendix 1A and Appendix 1B. So why two? Because we have two different structures of unit of competency. One is called old structure, the new one is called streamlined structure of unit of competency. So step one, you need to complete Appendix 1A or 1B. So let's go to Appendix 1A and see what it's saying there. Okay, so 1A, old training package structure, 1B, streamlined training package structure. So this one is really simple. What you need to do, you need to go to training.gov.au. You need to select so when we are going to TGA website, we are clicking on National Register of Vet. And let's say my unit from my qualification, which I've selected in first portfolio, is BSB CMM 401. I know about these codes. So there are two units, one is superseded, one is current. So I'll pick the current one, of course. So if I scroll it down and if I can see application here, it means it's a new, if I don't have descriptor here, it means it's a new structure. It's a new streamlined structure of a unit of competency. So I'm not completing this appendix. I'm scrolling that down and completing this one. You do not need to complete both. You need to complete only one. So application of unit, I'm here. So first of all, I'll write here the literally copy and paste unit code and title, but don't forget to set the formatting. This if your assessment is well formatted, well structured, you'll get more marks. So I'll write a standard one, application of unit. I'll go there, I'll literally copy and paste this whole thing. Unit sector, that's the unit sector. So I'll copy and paste foundation skills. So I'll scroll it down, I'll find foundation skills. So you do not need to copy and paste this whole table. What you need to do, you need to copy this reading. We'll write reading here, then you copy this information, you paste it here, and maybe you need to do this stuff, and then again you need to do it for the second one. Then you go back, you copy its description, and you'll do this thing. Don't forget about formatting and everything. Okay, so you do this thing for all components. For elements of competency, where are elements? Here are elements. So you'll copy this. You'll copy second one. We'll copy third. And you'll put all these here. And you'll write 1, 2, 3. Same with performance criteria. This time you copy and paste all this. Okay? And then you'll go for performance evidence and you'll copy and paste performance evidence and knowledge evidence. Yeah? And then assessment conditions as well. So if your unit is from old training package, so let's say this one. Come on. Do not think now, please. So we have unit descriptor. So you'll copy and paste it here. Unit descriptor. We have application of unit. You copy and paste here. Elements, same thing. Performance criteria from here. Required skills and knowledge, this information. Evidence, range statement is somewhere here, this one. Evidence guide, here, right? So you copy and paste, but it's not complete. You need to answer in your own words how this is relevant to client needs. Now, to get an idea how to do this thing, I'll show you an example as well. But you need to think about your client needs, which you've identified in last portfolio, and you need to say, okay, what is the need of my client, training need of my client? Is this unit related to that training need? Yes, explain it here. Unit sector, foundation skills, elements, performance criteria, all you need to write how this is relevant to the needs of your client. Now, we have uploaded an example of unpacking a unit of competency on our study period 1. So if we go to study period 1, so we scroll it down and we go to study period 1 news forum, click here and we scroll it down and we'll find this one. There are two actually. One, unpacking a unit of competency. It's a YouTube video. You can watch this one. Another one is example unit of competency by Michelle. So you click on this one and you'll click on this file, a PDF file. We'll open it. So this is an example. So that's based on old training package structure. That's the unit descriptor. So Michelle's tip is directly underneath this information explain how this is relevant to your unit. So you do not need to write underneath it. You have a separate box for that. So this unit is relevant to skill training instructional designer as they need to be able to research online tools to meet client needs. So you need to come up with a reflective piece, reflective paragraph how this part of unit is related to your client needs. So that's what we need to do for first appendix. Yeah? First step, complete this one or this one. Now we'll go up and we'll see what's in step 2. Step 2, as the course designer, you want your training program to be meaningful for your target learners. When using training package document, you will find they are written for industry, but may need some tweaking. So this step is all about contextualization. Okay, I hope you must have read about contextualization in a workbook. If not, definitely you'll read about that. So step 2, there is a template again. A template is supplied at appendix 2. Contextualization could include this. So we'll go down to appendix 2 and I'll tell you how to complete it. Okay. First of all, if you have two boxes here, one is saying advice on contextualization produced and second one is contextualization statement, get rid of one box. If you have one, that's fine. So what you'll do, you'll copy unit code here, BSB CMM 401. You'll write the title of unit of competency. Now this one, advice on contextualization produced by a training package developer or course developer, is standard and is given by training packages to us. How to get it, I'll tell you. Go to study period 1 again. Go to news forum of study period 1, which is this one. And this time look for contextualization example. Here we go. Contextualization example appendix. I forgot about E. It's based on old assessment, but contextualization is same. So you see second column, advice on contextualization. So you will read it for sure. Copy and paste it in here. Great. And don't forget to set the formatting. I am pretty strict about the formatting. So that's contextualization first section. Now, how to contextualization, how to do a contextualization. Now, what contextualization is, you are making unit relevant to your learners. So here is an example. I mean, Michelle's example. That's 1.1 means performance criteria 1.1. And performance criteria is saying access, interpret, apply, and monitor customer. And then in the bracket, it is saying guest. So originally, guest is not part of this unit. Yeah. If we go to this unit on training.gov.au, we won't find, you see, it's customer only. There is no guest in there. That's what contextualization is. We are picking a unit of, we are picking a performance criteria, and we are saying where we are training our customer, our client is not calling their customers as customers. They are calling them as guests. So here I'm explaining this. My client, Hotel Leaf, use the term guest for their customers and clients, thereby using the terminology used within the workplace makes it relevant to performance criteria 1.1. So that's what you need to do. You need to pick at least 3 to 4 performance criteria. You need to change a word, and that's how you need to change a word. You'll copy and paste, and you'll the word which you are going to change, put a bracket and write guest, whatever that word you are going to change, and explain the change in last column. So we'll come here and I'll give you an example again. So that's my, so what I'm going to use, choose presentation strategies. Okay, I want to pick the simple one. Okay, let's say pick this one. So we'll copy this performance criteria, we'll paste it here, format, delivery, and method online. At Open Colleges, we have online delivery method only. Okay, so you will explain this change. Yeah, so that's how we'll contextualize a performance criteria, but you need to come up with at least 3 to 4 examples. So you do not need to contextualize everything. Pick 3 to 4 examples, put here, and write why, what is the reason of this contextualization. Okay, so I hope these 2 points are okay. If everything is fine, just write okay in your chat so I can say, yeah, you are getting it. Then we'll talk about step 3. That's great. So step 3 is saying, in brief report, explain what you might do if a component within the training package, such as a qualification or a unit of competency you were using for your learning program, expired or was superseded by a new version. Which industry skill council you would consult with if you needed further information. So as I mentioned, we have superseded unit of competencies and we have current unit of competencies. So if there is a change in, actually you need to think about a unit or a qualification, because it is not asking you, if it is asking you, you have to come up with an example, whether it's related to your qualification, whether it's related to your selected unit or not. You need to think, if there is a change, what we'll do. So if there is change, first of all, I'll see what is the structure of new training package. With the new structure, we are getting foundation skills, we're getting performance evidence and knowledge evidence. So we may need to address these. Is there any change in performance criteria? We may need to address these. How can I get information about all these things? We can go to training.gov.au and we can see that. Then what is the Industry Skill Council? Now, I explained the concept of Industry Skill Council and industry reference committees in yesterday's video. So if you'll watch that, you'll be clear why we don't have industry skill councils anymore and why we don't have IPSA anymore. So you'll watch that. So this question is a letter kind of thing. It's an email. It's a reflective piece. What would you do if there is a change in training package and a unit of competency? Then step 4 is saying a course designer is required to ensure all learning assessment material are ready before learning program implementation. So after compiling the list to identify one resource. So step 4 is about appendix 3. So we'll go to appendix 3 and we'll see what we have there. Come on. Okay. This one is saying resource list and evaluation template. Resources that could be used within your learning program. Explain a brief report how these resources or publisher content could be used within your learning program delivery. So you are going to you are going to teach someone you need some kind of resources. We can get heaps of resources online. Here is a sample link. If I'll copy this one, I'll go to internet. Yeah, so this resource is about fostering children's aesthetic and creative development. So what I'll do, I'll copy, I'll paste it here, I'll set the formatting, I'll write the link, sorry, why is it not coming back? Then I'll find, so this one is related to something else, but we are finding a resource related to, I hope you know about slideshare.net. So it's a website where people are uploading their slideshows. So I'll write presentation because I've selected a presentation unit. No, sorry about my spellings. Presentation. So I'm saying, come on. Oh, I'm saying I'm going to use this slideshow in my, so I'll copy, I'll paste the link. What is the name? Tips for an awesome PowerPoint presentation. Okay, so I'll set the formatting, and that's great. So you need to come up with different resources which you can find from internet, or you can say, okay, we are not going to use any resource which is available on internet. We are going to use open colleges, our own colleges resources. So we'll write 314758 student workbook, and that's the link, opencolleges.edu.au or something, or it's on C drive, it's on D drive, learning resources file. So you need to come up with a list of resources. Try to have at least 5 to 7 resources here, and then explain how these resources are publishers content would be used within your learning program delivery. Okay, this one is free, this one is available internet, this one is related to unit of competency, this is from your college, this is from your client, so you can come with heaps of stuff. Then you need to pick one resource that you would use in your learning program. So you'll say, I'll use this one, and then you need to explain why you need to use this thing, because it's from open colleges, it's the policy of open colleges, it's from client, whatever. Then you would write one resource you would not use for your learning program. So we usually don't use a learning resource which is copyrighted by someone else. Okay, that's one reason. Another one is Wikipedia presentation wiki. So we usually don't use, that's a resource. Wikipedia information is resource, whatever that information is. But we don't usually use this one because there is no authenticity. Someone can change it at any time. I can go and I can change it. So that's the reason we are not using it. So if we don't have permission to use it, we are not using it. If we don't know about that resource, we don't know, we are not sure about the authenticity of that resource, we are not using it. So that's what we need to do in this appendix. Great. Let's go up. Let's go to next step. Step 4. A course designer is required to ensure that all learning is... No, that's actually step 4. Sorry. That's step 5 now. So appendix 3 is step 4. Step 5 is your client has requested that a visual presentation is such as PowerPoint, Keynote, or Prezi be used. So creating slide that, so what you need to do now, you need to create a slideshow. Now, creating training slides that relate to one element from one unit of competency you have included within your learning program. The unit of competency that you choose could be the same as used in step 1, 2, 3. You can choose another one. 5 to 15 slides max. So what I would suggest, that's my unit. Pick one element and pick that element which is smaller. So I have, for this element I have 5, for this element I have 6, for this I have 3. So I'll pick this one. So you need to come up with a slideshow of this element covering all these performance criteria. Now, for a slideshow, don't forget to have a title slide. Don't forget to have a slide what will we be covering, what are the learning outcomes, what is the agenda. So learning outcome, agenda, whatever it is. Then talk about, now there's one thing which you need to be mindful, that you cannot, for students, you cannot use directly this performance criteria, copy and paste. This one is about implement techniques to review effectiveness of presentation. So what you'll do, you write here, techniques to review presentation, okay? And then you get rid of this thing. What you'll do, you'll write techniques here, okay? We can have feedback, form, survey, or whatever. So you'll explain what this, you actually prepare this thing keeping in mind that you are going to train someone for this topic. So you come up with the material. So then you add another slide, try to add pictures as well with slides for visual learners. Then try to have few activities, not few, actually one activity would be enough, so related to your topics, and try to have question and answer slide at the end. And sometime you can come up with a slide for revisit learning outcomes. Okay, and you'll talk about summary of your topic. So you'll come up with a slideshow for one element only, and minimum 5, maximum 15. That's what step 5 is. You can use Prezi, you can use Keynote, you can use Savvy, you can use PowerPoint. Now, step 6, this one is important. Write a reflection on the process you followed to develop the learning resource. So whatever process you applied to develop this one, you need to explain it. So it's a reflective report. So you selected an element. Why you selected that element? Because it has fewer performance criteria. Uh, what software you used? What's in? From where did you get the information? Uh, you rephrase the performance criteria to come up with the simpler things. You added an activity, you added pictures. So write the process of preparing your learning resource, step 1. So I would suggest to start typing here, but come up with substantial amount of writing here. Do not write 2 lines or 3 lines. Try to have at least 5 to 6 lines here. How you apply the learning design framework to develop the learning program, including the training and assessment. I would suggest to go to workbook and go to page number, I think it's 33. Let me see. No, not 33. That's my way of searching something. I usually control F and I'm looking for design. Next, 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 next. Really? Design framework. Yep, got it. Oh, oh, sorry. Where is it? Yeah, what a learning plan looks like. If you read this information, yeah, this one. So there are different models uh, which we can apply in preparing a learning program or learning resource. We can use ADDIE, analyze, design, develop, and implementation and evaluation. Then there are different 4CID model, ALGO, Assure, criterion reference instruction. So pick one and explain. Of course, you'll use a model to prepare a learning resource. So explain that model in here. Okay. There's one more thing which you need to consider. So page number, what was the page number? 22 and 22. 22 and 23 of 31475A student workbook. Okay. So one more thing which you need to keep in your mind, this question is asking you to reflect on the preparation of learning resource plus learning program, both. It's not only for a resource, it's for learning resource plus learning program. Then what's the relationship between your learning program and the training package? I mean, you've identified the need, you went on TGA website, you found uh, a training package which is related to the needs, so you figured out this would be a perfect training package for preparing my learning program. So that kind of stuff. How how your learning program reflects the principles of adult learning. So copy this, and I think the page number is, nope, principles of learning, I think. Nope, nope, not this one, not this one. Okay, this learning series. Yep. So that's page number, this one, learning styles and preferences. So it starts from here, learning principles. So these are other learning principles. Learning principle, other learning principle, adults are internally motivated. What is the implication of that? Adults have a range of experience. What is the implication of that? So you read this information and you'll apply it here in this part. So this one is, see, page number 95. Am I right? Yes, 95. Yeah. Now, next one is saying how you incorporated the dimensions of competency in a learning program. Now, we have dimensions of competency with examples in our learning here. It's page number 106. So we have 4 dimensions of competencies. Task skills, and these are the examples of task skills. Task management skills, these are the examples of task management skills. Contingency management skills, and job role environment skills. So what you need to do, you need to think about your unit of competency. You need to pick one example, and then you need to explain how you, what is the example of task skill, what is the example of task management skill, what is the example of contingency management skill, and what is the example of uh, the last one, job role environment skill. So there would be example of 4 dimensions of competency. Page number 106. How you conducted your work according to organizational quality assurance and policy and procedure. So in a first assessment 3147503, we asked you to come up with a list of organization policies and procedures. Out of those policies and procedures, there are few policies which are related to designing of course, designing of learning resource, designing of learning program. So you need to write a reflective paragraph here. You use that policy, and that policy. So this would be easy. These 3 are the crucial one because students usually forget about this thing and they write something else. And we ask you now, it's withheld, write it again. So don't forget to read page number 22, 23, 95, 106 for this. Here comes the step 7. I think that's the last step, yeah. So step 7 is saying reviewing the learning program to ensure it is meeting the client need can occur before, during, after the program's delivery. Complete the following table to indicate some of the things that you might review before, after, and who would involve. So what would be reviewed before delivery? Of course, your learning program, your documentation. During delivery, of course, the way you are delivering, uh, the trainer and assessor, the equipments, after delivery assessments, evidence. So these kind of the feedback forms. Who else would be involved in there? So you've listed different stakeholders, so they all can be, it can participate in this one. So you answer these 6 questions for before, during, and after delivery, and it would be, it's really simple. It's not that much difficult. Of course, for issues, you can make up few issues. You can think about few issues and you can put it in there. Who's responsible for addressing feedback? It's you, because you are the learning designer. Yeah. And you can talk, you can say, okay, my manager as well. So, and then we are asking you 2 questions here. If the client identify the change should occur within your learning program, what steps you might take? So think about changing something. You would receive that request. You would analyze it, analyze the impact. You would see the cost of changes. You would see the impact on time. You would see the impact on quality. Then you would change it. You would retrieve the previous version of assessment or learning resource. You'll archive them and you'll issue the new one. So there's a whole process. How would you communicate to client or to other stakeholder that you made amendments according to the client's feedback? So is again, you'll complete it, you'll use version control system, and you'll email customer with the updated thing. So these two questions are really easy. And I think that's pretty much it. That's the checklist. You need to complete these things. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask you, because we've got 5, I cannot unmute you all. Write in the chat if you have a question. I'll unmute you. You'll ask me a question and I'll answer it. So wanna go first? No one? Great. You guys have no question. Really? That's great. So it means I've addressed everything. Am I right? Can you write something in the chat? So we know everything is fine, perfect. Brenton, Robert, Marina, Stella. Oh yeah, that seems, yep, this is the first session I set to set, so still working it all out. Okay, that's great. But do you have any question, Brenton, or it's all fine for the day? Oh, Stella left and she arrived back again. Okay. Okay, that's great. That's good. I tend to download the video and go through it once more. That's great, Robert. Yeah, I'll upload this on Monday. Okay. I hope that will be fine. Meanwhile, you guys can watch the last video. That's great. So I think that would be the end of this session. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, I've recorded it and I'll definitely put it on YouTube on Monday. So uh, good evening and enjoy your night. Thank you.